Hello everyone. We'll discuss about a very interesting topic in marketing management, which is related to value creation and value capturing. It is very important for a marketer to focus on these concepts: value creation and capturing value. So when we talk about value, value may be explained from customer's point of view also, as well as from marketer's point of view also. So from customer's point of view, or for customer, value is related to the cost, quality, services, social factors, marketing, marketing effort by the company, by the organization, as well as the past experience of the customer. So these are the various subcomponents that defines a value for customer. So value is like, it is like creating, communicating and delivering for the delivering the benefits, delivering the attributes for the customers or the consumers. So let's talk about customer perceived value. Customer perceived value. This value is always perceived. It varies from person to person, individual to individual. As I discussed, it is like creating, communicating, and delivering. So if we talk about the mathematical equation, the simple equation could be customer perceived value, or CPV, may be defined as it is the difference of perceived benefit and perceived cost. The term perceived is used because it varies from individual to individual. And now let's talk about the difference of this perceived benefits and perceived cost. So this could be explained using various subcomponents. So let's talk about the customer benefit or perceived benefit, or so-called total customer benefits. There could be various subcomponents like product benefits, services benefit, personal benefits, image benefit. So these are the various components that define the benefits. So when we talk about the benefit from the customer or the consumer's point of view, it doesn't mean that what we are, what product or what services we are getting. It is related to the support that is provided by the manpower, or by the organization team, sales team, or the marketing effort done by the company, image or the brand image of the product also, or the services also. Now let's talk about second component, which is related to the perceived cost. So it is like total customer cost. Now there are various subcomponents like monetary cost, time cost, energy cost, or as well as psychological cost. Now, as a customer, we pay, we do a monetary transaction with the marketer, and a lot of time we spend on deciding about what product or what services we want to avail. It consumes a lot of energy also, and a lot of psychological efforts also. So these are the various components that attributes to the perceived cost, or so-called total customer cost. So customer perceived value, it is a difference of perceived benefit and perceived cost. Let's talk about the term value in more detail. Now, there are three different levels of value. Value, the relative worth of a product based on the utility and the importance to the buyer or to the customer or to the consumer. This value attracts buyers awareness and interest. It is delivered by the product itself or the service itself, and how it meets the buyer's current needs. Let's talk about added value. Added value, it is one step ahead or one level up of the value. It involves extra features that go beyond the standard product offering. This magnifies buyer's desire and may lead to action. That is, it may motivate customer or consumer or the buyer to buy product or services. This added value is delivered by the seller's company or the organization or the marketer as a marketing tool to incentivize buyers and to gain the competitive edge over other competitors. Let's talk about created value. So created value is separate from the product and unique to each individual or each buyer. Created value secures long-term buyer and seller relationship. It is delivered by the seller through the experience created in doing business with the buyer. So we talked about three different levels of value, like value, added value, and created value. So these different types of value we can define this as the difference between the price of the finished product and the service and the cost of the inputs involved in making it. So all types of value must be relevant to a unique buyer or a customer or a consumer. No value is one size fit all. So it varies from individual to individual. After discussing about the basics of value creation, let's talk about some terms like perceived value and firm's captured value. Let's discuss with the help of a example of a premium coffee brand. Let us consider the perceived value in the mind of the consumer or the customer, maybe rupees 300 Indian currency. Now, the price the actual customer pays maybe rupees 180. So the actual price the customer or the buyer is paying maybe 180 rupees, but the perceived value in the mind of that buyer for that brand or that for that product is 300 rupees. Now, in this case, the customer surplus is 120 rupees. So this is the difference of the perceived value in the mind of the prospect or in the mind of the customer buyer, and price what the actual price what the that customer or the buyer is paying. So in this case the difference is 120 rupees, rupees 300 minus 1 rupees 180. Now this 100 rupee 20 rupee 120 rupees is the customer surplus, so it is equal to the happiness gain. So this is the happiness gain. Now if we subtract the cost to the firm or the actual production cost for delivering that product, or in this case we are talking about a premium coffee brand, maybe any coffee brand. So it maybe it is assumed that let us say it is 90 rupees. Now the difference of the customer surplus and the cost in this case is again defined as firm's captured value profit. Now firm's captured value profit is rupees 90. Now mathematically, if we talk about customer surplus and cost, the difference of both may not be the uh, equivalent value of the firm capture value, but it is arrived by calculating the difference of price what the actual price customer is paying minus the cost to the firm. So it is 180 minus 90, which is equal to the 90 rupee. So a happy customer plus happy or healthy profit is equal to the sustainable business. So to maintain the sustainable business as a marketer, we need to think about the customer's happiness also, happiness gain, as well as the reasonable or healthy profit also. Let's talk more about value capturing from the marketer's perspective. So the goal of marketing is not just to create value for the customer, but it is also important to capture part of that value profitably and sustainably. So value creation for the customer as well as value capture for the marketer, both are important. Now this value capture, it is the ability of the marketers to convert the value created for customers into profitable returns through pricing, positioning, cost efficiency, and customer relationship management. Now let's talk about value creation for the customer. So customer satisfaction or so-called happy customers drive repeat purchase, loyalty, and word of mouth. So this is equivalent to perceived value or the benefit, which is total benefits customer expects from product services like functional, emotional, social, and experiential. So these are the total different benefits that customer expects, subtracting this from price, cost. So this is how we arrive at the customer satisfaction. And again, this is equal to the profit. So customer satisfaction is the difference of the customer value, customer benefit, and pricing along with cost. So deducting the price and the cost component from the perceived value or the benefit, we arrived at a profit. From marketer point of view, this is the value captured, so-called profit. So value captured by the company, which is the difference of revenue and cost for growth and shareholders value. So that is the value captured, so-called profit. And from customer's point of view, for customer, the value creation is the customer satisfaction. Let's talk about the steps to maximize or to increase the captured value from marketers' point of view. How marketers can capture more value by increasing perceived value, by appropriate pricing, by reducing cost to serve, by reducing and protecting the value pool, and growing customer lifetime value. So these are the 5 steps. So first is increase perceived value by offering better quality, innovations, brand experience, enhancing brand experience, improvising trust, and building up emotional connection. So this is increase perceived value. Second could be appropriate pricing, setting the right price customers are willing to pay based on value delivered and market demand. So that is why this setting a appropriate pricing is more very important. Third is by reducing cost to serve. So improve operational efficiency, and supply chain and digital enablement helps in reducing the cost to serve. Fourth is protect the value pool. So strong positioning, differentiation, and brand loyalty to reduce value leakage to the competitors. So by this the value pool may be protected. Fifth is growing customer lifetime value, building up long-term relationship with the customers by cross-selling and upselling and encouraging advocacy. So this helps in growing customer lifetime value. Why value capture matters for marketer? Value capturing matters for marketer because this ensures business profitability and growth. This helps in creating shareholders and stakeholders value. This enables reinvestment in innovation and customer experience. Also builds strong brand equity and competitive advantage. In this presentation, we had a detailed discussion on value creation from customers' point of view and value capturing from market's perspective. Value creation process involves understanding customer need and value. It also includes innovate, and build profitable offering. Whereas in case of value capturing, this involves setting and managing value-based pricing levels, sell on value, and execute price, correct price, right price. So key takeaway from this presentation are like marketing success depends upon creating superior customer value and capturing the right share of that value. So it is delighting the customer, capture value, and grow together. I hope this discussion was useful for you. Thank you.